Or maybe like you just stopped working your business for months at a time or for weeks at a time and you came back in a way rather than like without even saying that you left. This is for you because I love that people that are not working or maybe that quit or whatever can come back and say their comeback story and say how much, like, when you leave, you realize how truly, truly, truly amazing and easy this business is and what it can truly do for you if you just work for it. And I think that as much as it sucks, like, they're willing to say, like, yeah, I didn't work my business, and yeah, I was lazy, and yeah, I didn't put in the work, and I left and realized I needed this business and came back. And so the whole main point of this also is that I always preach to y'all, every 6 months something happens in your life that makes it true and evident as to why God put this business in your life when he did. So a lot of people, when I joined, I couldn't figure out why God put this business in my life when I was 18 in high school and had not a single clue how to do anything in life. And here I am. And it's because so many things in my life, I've realized why God put this business in my life. So that goes into Katie's story a lot tonight. So I'm going to put it on speaker view. Give me a second. Okay. So, okay. Katie, if you want to start by just sharing your story, kind of when you joined, what rank you are, and like everything in between.
Okay. So I joined this year, January, like, it was either the 14th or the 15th. It's when I got my grant for school. So I had wanted to join Cheyenne for like 3 weeks, and I just watched her, and I didn't have the money. I was waitressing. Me and Caleb were living in an apartment. We had 3 dogs in an apartment, and I was waitressing and going to school full time, and Caleb worked the night shift. So they were hard. So I finally told Cheyenne the day that I get my grant for school, I'm signing up. So I finally signed up, but she bugged me for like 3 days. Like, I did not talk to her for like 3 days because I was like, I'm not doing it. It's crazy. There's no way that she makes that much money. So I just got gutsy one day and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I was bored sitting inside and I just did it. So I did it, and Caleb was so excited for me. And as soon as I started, I got really discouraged because I told my parents and they were like, stuff like that does not last. Like, you're going to work it and then it's not going to work out. So I worked for like a couple weeks and I got like my first check and I was like, okay, it's a little bit of a profit. And my first customers were my grandma and my aunt and then one of my friends. Like, I made her join. Like, I told her we weren't friends unless she was an LC. Like, I'm serious. And she was also my first distributor. So that's kind of how I started. And I worked for a couple weeks, and then I just kept getting told that I was crazy, like, by all my friends. Everybody told me that I was crazy. There was no reason for me to join network marketing because it never works. So I ended up having to quit my waitressing job. I made decent money at my job, but I had to quit because I couldn't keep up with school and waitress, and I just hated the job so much. So after I quit, I kind of like pushed for It Works a couple more weeks, and then I just got discouraged all over again. I don't know what happened. I just got up one day and I was like, I don't really want to. So I ended up getting a job that paid me minimum wage, and I was still in school, and I just felt like everything was just kind of crumbling. Like, I did really bad in school and I hated my job and I just hated it so much. Then I kind of worked again for a couple weeks, and then I quit again. And it was just like start and stop. And then a couple weeks after I started my recent job, I found out that I was pregnant. And that just, like, I quit for like 3 months. After I quit that last time, I quit for 3 solid months. I would ignore Cheyenne when she would text me, like, totally ignore her. Like, I was ready to block her because she just texts me every single day. And then eventually Lauren started texting me, and they were both texting me. And it just, finally I was like, you know what? I'm going to work. And I found out I was pregnant. And I decided that I did not want to have my baby stay with anybody else. Like, I have 3 dogs, and I don't let anyone even babysit my dogs. So I just knew that I was not going to be able to leave that baby with anybody else. So I started working in June, the mid-June, and then I ended up going executive that next week that I came back. And then the next month I went Ruby, getting my $1,000 bonus, and then recently I just went Emerald. So in like that 60-day span, I went from not working to going Emerald. And I don't know, that's helped out so much financially. My first executive check was, okay, Lauren's texting me what to say, so hang on. Okay, so I went executive in June. I stayed in contact with Lauren. Like, I literally texted her from the second that I woke up to the second I went to sleep. I texted her every single second of the day that I was free. I was messaging like almost 300 people a day. I'm not even kidding. Like, I would wake up at 6 a.m. and message 50 people, and at my 10 o'clock break at work, I would message another 50 people. And then at lunch, it was 50. And then at my other break, it was 50. And then after work, it was 50. And then I would answer messages like when I got home in the evenings. I got on every single Zoom like I was obsessed. I would take my MacBook everywhere so that I could Zoom regardless of where I was. So I guess just plugging in is what got me to Ruby, because I didn't believe that Zooms were the reason that you promote. Like, plugging in and listening to people, I didn't believe that. But that was definitely something that really worked. So plug in if you're not plugging in, if you're not promoting, that's the way to go. You need to plug in. Also, I'm super like competitive. So seeing these girls that started when I started promoting made me really mad that they were going to promote and I wasn't. So I just hopped on it, and then I just got to Ruby. When I got to Ruby, I was pretty satisfied with my paycheck. It was like $400. But then I was told that I wasn't going to get my $1,000 bonus like in my account that day. So I really wanted to have my paycheck completed. And then I was like, oh, well, Emerald's really not that far. So then I added, like, with that $20 deal, I think I added like 9 distributors to my team. And then like 4 of them didn't work. So me and Lauren filled like all 4 of those distributors' boxes because I was obsessed, literally messaging 300 people a day. And my Instagram followers went from like literally 800, and I think I have like 1,500 now. So it was just like, I was super consistent, and I didn't use Captivate. I did them all individually with my fingers. So I don't know why I did. Yeah, I know. But I didn't know how to use Captivate. I didn't even want to try it because I'm not good with like the technology. So I just did it with my fingers.
I love your story every time, and I think it's so crazy too because when she says that I annoyed the hell out of her and was texting her all the time, I was, because I believe in y'all so much, and I always was texting it. I text everybody, and I'm like, hey, like, why aren't you doing this? Because I know from the other side how easy this business truly is if you just freaking do it. Like, I feel like y'all think we're all unicorns of the people that have promoted, but it's literally just because I decided, just do it. And like, it becomes so much like a habit that it doesn't even feel like work anymore. But when you make it seem like such a job, you don't do it anymore. So I have some questions I'm just going to ask you, and you can just answer, and then I'll go on to the next one. So you kind of went over this a little bit, but what do you think made you quit this business, and like what made you give up every single time?
My parents kind of burn out my light. Like, every time I would talk about it, they would just put me down. Or my friends thought I was crazy. And believe it or not, those friends that called me crazy, we're not friends anymore. We're not friends anymore. And the friends that I was friends with, they were kind of iffy about my business, but all 5 of them are my distributors, like for my Emerald and my Diamond charts. And they work every single day because they saw how much that this business changed me. So it was just the people I surrounded myself with, honestly. They didn't support me at all. And I just, every time that they would say something about me, like doing it, and then I would go message people and they would tell me no, I was like, it's not for me. It doesn't work. They're right.
Yeah, so. I love that because there's 2 different ways you can go about that. With you, how you let it get to you and you gave up on it. There's also the side of like when I was in high school, I got made fun of daily for what I did. I got mocked. I still get mocked from people in high school, all the same people that still live in my hometown that live on Twitter. Like, I dealt with that so much, but instead I used it to fire me. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let these people win, and I'm not going to let these people still continue to make fun of me and then have a reason to make fun of me because it really didn't work and I'm proving them wrong. So it just depends on the way that you're willing to do it. And like, I'm not saying you're weak if you let that get to you, but it's just, you have to decide if it's worth enough for you to sit there and be like, okay, I am going to make this work, and they're not going to win. So I do love that. And I love hearing the other side of it, just like you letting it get to you, but now look at you. And now they're like, wait, I take it back. So the next one is, what made you decide to come back and run with this business, like in depth?
So I found out I was pregnant 6 months ago. I'm 19. Me and Caleb's 22. I'm 19. I haven't finished school yet. And I have 3 dogs at home. I have a brand new car, and I found out I was pregnant. Like, we did all this right before I found out I was pregnant. So it kind of put me in shock at first, and I was like, I don't want to do it work, so I'm just going to go get a better paying job. Well, I thought about it a couple more weeks, and I mean, I don't want to leave my baby with anybody. Like, I want to be a stay-at-home mom, and so that was my biggest thing. Is I want to be a stay-at-home mom, and I want to make it to where Caleb doesn't have to work 12 hours a day. He can just go and work his job because he likes to work. So he wants to work. He could come home, but he wants to work. And so I just wanted to make it to where I could pay all of our bills, like my car payment, my rent, all of our bills, and him not have to worry about anything besides buying groceries and baby stuff, which I did. This month, my check covered my brand new car. It's not a cheap car. I have a 2018. I paid all of our rent and all of our bills with my check this month because I tripled it from last month, which is just like, I really started crying when I got that check, like when I got a prelims.
That makes me so happy. I die.
Caleb, he didn't believe me, at all. And then I showed him, and he was just.
What was his reaction when he saw your check?
He was just like, are you serious? Like, are you sure? Like, are you sure you're going to get that? Do you swear? And I'm like, yes.
Every time still, he's like, that's going to, go in your bank account on the 15th. And I'm like, yeah, it is. This is real. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what clicked with you when you realized that this business really wasn't that hard and it was just about putting in the works? What made you think, okay, other than, you finding out you were pregnant, where you're just like, okay, I really need to make this work. It's not that bad. I need to figure it out. And, obviously now you've figured that out, that it's not that bad.
Yeah, figured it out. So I mean, I guess I started going full force with the $20 deal, because I was like, this is my chance to build my whole diamond chart. I need to just build it now so that when I hit emerald, all I have to do is fill volumes. So hey, hang on, stop. My dogs are chewing my shoes. So I filled my whole chart with the $20 deal. I think I lack 2 distributors before my diamond chart's full. And so once I filled them and I had to fill those volumes, I messaged every day, and it was just so easy that I could just do the text replacement, or I could just use my scripts. I used to make it so complicated. I would just be like, what am I going to say to this? I can't say the same exact thing to every single person. Yes, you can. You can say the same exact thing to every single person because the scripts are easy. There's no way that person's not going to know what you're talking about as long as you use the scripts. But it's just, it's about wording. So just use the scripts. That made it so easy. Also, I always felt like I couldn't ask Cheyenne questions because I didn't want to seem dumb. But I ask Lauren questions all day long. It can be the dumbest question in the world, and I'll ask her and not care. So plug in with your upline. Make them your BFF. And if, I swear I just thought I was annoying her. She just loves when I annoy her because that means I'm working. So definitely annoy them. Or if your upline doesn't help, you can always ask a different upline or somebody on your team. So
yes.
To answer your question?
Yes. Yeah. There's so many people. I hear that all the time, and I love that you said that because so many people are like, well, I don't want to annoy you, and I feel like I'm blowing up your phone. That's how I know who to work with. when I am getting my phone blown up by somebody, I know that they're putting in so much work. When I text those people, I'm like, hey, how's everything going? They're like, oh my gosh, I'm messaging so much. I'm talking to so many people. And most people just say that because they don't want to be honest with me and say like, hey, I'm actually not working. I know that before you even tell me, because the ones that are working and the ones that are, they're like working and sending me screenshots, they're the ones that are enrolling. They're the ones that are constantly putting booms in our chat, because I know that the work they're putting in by them sending me screenshots and asking me those questions, that's the only way to be successful in something, is to learn and to continuously like grow your business and do the things you're supposed to be doing. And when I'm looking at my chart and saying, okay, who do I need to work really closely with? I'm not going to work with somebody that I never hear from. I'm going to work with somebody that blows up my phone, because that's what I want. So yeah, that is very true. And I know that you and Lauren talk all the time, which is awesome, because I know that that helped her when we were like getting her charts and everything. I was like, wait, Katie's back? Like what? And it was awesome. So what are your biggest tips for those that are promoting? So like, what do you feel like helped you really make that step and come back with a fire under your rear, and then to especially earn the bonus?
Well, I mean, my why is kind of why I pushed, but I don't know. I felt comfortable with my upline, so I feel like that helped me a lot to work. Like knowing that she's working side by side with me, like she's not just yelling at me, bossing me to work. It just kind of encouraged me to help. And also our group chats, they push me, because I feel like if everybody else is promoting, I need to promote too. Or if they're sending booms, I need to send booms. Or if they're getting distributors, I want distributors. Like I just want to be with everybody else promoting, you know? So I guess that's what pushed me, because I'm so competitive. And also I made myself, every time that we had a Zoom, I made myself sit down, even if I didn't want to. So, I mean, that's probably my biggest thing, is to get on Zoom. I tell my team that too. I'm like, if you don't get on Zoom, you're not going to go up.
Exactly. What do you, like, what helps you, like, when you're feeling discouraged, like, obviously we all do, when you're feeling discouraged, or you're kind of feeling unmotivated to do things, like, what kind of puts you back into gear and says, like, okay, Katie, like, get your crap together? Like, what do you think it is that you do that helps you?
So when I get unmotivated, I tell Lauren to, like, yell at me. Like, I seriously text her, and I'm like, can you yell at me? Because, like, I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm not feeling it. So she'll just text me, and I'm like, give me an immediate goal, because I'm competitive, or goal oriented, I guess. Mm-hmm. So if Lauren says you need to have a distributor by this time, 90% of the time I meet that goal, like right then. Or if she's like, you need to have 3 loyal customers by the end of the night, I'll do it. Or she's like, you need 15 PLCs by midnight. Okay, one time I didn't meet my goal, and I was so mad at myself. Like I had to do it the next day, because I was so mad that I didn't hit that goal. So I make her make immediate goals. That's what pushes me.
That's really good. So if you are someone that is like Katie, where I'm very money oriented. I see my paycheck and I'm like, wow, I wonder if I can grow this by $10,000. Like that's just how I've always been. And I love that this business gives us that opportunity to where, like, if you need that extra $1,000, or if you know, like Katie's instance, she's about to have a baby, like that's a really big financial thing. And it's almost like a scary thing. So you're like, okay, I need to make this work. She can make her paycheck go up by 2,000, 10,000, whatever she wants it to go up by how much she's working. So if you're someone that's really goal oriented, reach out to your leader. If it's me, whoever your upline is, and just be like, hey, is there any way that you can send me some goals, or maybe give me a goal sheet, or like say, oh, go do this, because that'll train you. If you're somebody that's very money, like I'm very red, take the color test and figure out what color you are. Google it, it's the color test. It's amazing. I'm very, very red, as I'm very money motivated, but I'm also really yellow because I'm very freaking emotional, sensitive, and cry all the time. And I'm like super uber caring about people, like even if you don't care about me. And so that always helped me with Courtney, because I was always able to like tell her, okay, how do I get this $500? And she would say, okay, if you want to get $2,000, this is what you do. And so I was like, $2,000? What? Huh? Okay, I'm in. And I would do whatever she told me to do. So figure out the way that you work, figure out what motivates you. And I promise if you start putting that at the forefront of your goals, you're going to get so much more done, because you're working based on what your, like, I guess, shell is, rather than trying to do what someone else is doing. Because if Katie didn't have goals, there's no telling where she would be, because she wouldn't have anything to work towards. So figure out what your why is, figure out what your goals are, and work really closely with those. So when you said that you stopped and started a ton of times, do you feel like if you wouldn't have stopped working your business a billion times and just kept going, where do you think you would be? Like, if you think that, and that's like a double question, like, where do you think you would be? And also, if you think like how many times you stopped, if you would have kept going, like, hello, you'd be freaking triple by now.
Yeah. Well, I just look at it like I went Emerald in 60 days. I had the same opportunity when I started. It was a $5,000 bonus. If you went Emerald in 60 days, you could have it. You get the $5,000. If I'd have just stayed, I could probably be double or triple by now. Cause I mean, like 60 days, I got $6,000 in bonuses, and like, why didn't I just stay? I ask myself that every single day. Like, I could have been stay at home a long time ago. I could have bought me and Caleb a house by now. I could have like completely paid for a wedding. I could have done all this stuff, but I stopped and started. So don't stop. If you're feeling unmotivated, just talk to somebody about it, because everybody feels it. It's not just you. So that's my biggest tip, probably.
And I love that you mentioned that too, because I always talk about it with y'all. I feel like so many of you look up to leaders in a way of thinking that there's someone different than you. And if you're discouraged, I felt discouraged. If you've been unmotivated, I've been unmotivated. If I haven't enrolled for weeks at a time, I haven't enrolled in for weeks at a time. It's just a matter of like realizing that we're all distributors. We all started at zero. My personal bonus volume and my group volume started at zero, and I had to build myself up to this point. And I didn't get here because it was easy. I didn't get here because I gave up. I didn't get here because I realized that everyone was telling me no and that I wasn't going to be successful. I realized that it's not going to be a straight shot to the top. It's going to be a literal roller coaster. And I know that's so cliche, but you're going to have people quit. You're going to have people tell you no. You're going to have people tell you that you're crazy, or have your parents tell you that it's never going to work. You're going to have your boyfriend maybe not support you, or maybe your like parents. Like if my dad didn't support me, I really don't know where I would be, because I do look up to him so much, and he's like my BFF. And if I didn't have that support, I don't honestly know where I would be without that. So if you're feeling just like in a rut sometimes, or that you maybe need to figure out how you work. So if you realize that you are goal oriented, or maybe you're money oriented, or whatever it is, figure that out and work with your leader. Like, and if your leader doesn't work with you, work with somebody else above them that works. Like, I know that there's a lot of girls on our team, and if you don't feel like you're being led correctly by your leader, come to me, come to somebody else, come to somebody in Diamond Tribe, post in Diamond Tribe. You have so many resources in order to be successful. And I really, really love, Katie, I love your story. I love how you have quit and you came back and realized that. And I don't have any more questions, but what I wanted you to do last was just maybe share some, like what your number one tip is for people. And you may have already said it, but maybe just reiterate on it, something that you feel that it's gotten you to where you are and you feel like it's going to take you to all the next levels just by this one thing.
I think my biggest tip would to be BFFs with your upline. Like you have to talk to them. I swear, like, I mean, Lauren's there 100% of the time. So I don't know where I would be without her. Like, just, she chews me out when I don't work. And I think that gets me, because I love you too. Like, she seriously yells at me if I'm not working, or she asks me like all kinds of questions. Why are you not working? What happened? What's wrong with you? Like, can I do something? Do you want to Zoom? Like, she'll FaceTime me, or I'm sure she'd call me, but it's usually FaceTime or Zoom, or she'll blow up my phone. Like, it's like anything. Like, just be BFFs with your upline.
I love Lauren too. So it's just a big thing of making sure that you're reaching out to the right people and making sure that you're following the right people. And if your leader is not someone that's helping you a lot right now, maybe they're still new and they're still learning, or maybe they haven't really found their leadership qualities. I know that like even with Lauren, she's leading Katie, and it took her a while to figure out how to be a leader, and she quit and she came back and promoted really quickly, and now here she is. So if that's you, if you're somebody who's been feeling really discouraged, or maybe just trying to find your direction, or maybe you were like Katie and thought that this just wasn't for you, look at where you can be if you don't give up. Like, this business, it's not just going to be something where you're just going to get mass success right off the bat, or you're going to go ambassador in 6 months. You're going to be making a consistent pay, because you never will. Your pay will always be off of your work ethic. So if you're not willing to put in the work every single day in order to get that paycheck, then you're not going to be successful in this. And I think it's awesome that this business offers that to us, because you can go to your corporate America job every day from 8 to 5, but you're going to make the same $2,000 paycheck that you make every month, unless you happen to like not go to work one day and it's going to be less. Or You can work a business like this and say, okay, I want to make $2,225 and make $2,225. If you want to make $10,000 the next month because you have some unexpected bills or medical bills, or you want to buy a car or need to buy a house, you can do that if you put your head down and you get to work. But if you sit there and make excuses all the time as to why you can't make this work for yourself, or you're willing to not work, or you're going to sit there and say that you're the only one that gets discouraged, or the only one that gets told no, or the only one where your team doesn't work, it's not just you. You're not special in that category, because all of us go through that. So I hope that this really helped y'all. I'm really glad that Katie got to get on here and share her story. And I love that it's not just Katie. And I love that there's a lot of girls in our team that have quit. Like literally all the people that I see on this thing right now. Maddie Shepard left, came back, went Emerald in her freaking second month. Cheyenne quit, came back. She's about to go double diamond. Lauren left, quit, came back, went Ruby in the same month that she came back. And now she's diamond, y'all. Abby Dimmitt. She left for like 6 months, came back and went diamond. There are so many, and I'm not encouraging, do not leave. It's not going to give you good luck to leave and come back. Do not take that, is what I'm saying. But I just want you to know that all of them, every single one that I just like outed for that, they hate themselves all the time for leaving. Obviously, it's in the process of everything, and it's meant to happen that way. Very true, and I believe that. But it didn't get them any farther by quitting and leaving, because they would be so much farther in their business. And so I just want you all to understand that, like, if you're feeling a certain way about your business right now, or maybe you're just feeling like maybe this isn't for you, or all of the things that we've talked about, it's not true. It's the devil working in. He always does that when you're trying to do anything good in your life. And I promise you that anytime you're going for a promotion, you're going to text me and be like, you were right. The devil's trying to test me. Like, I'm freaking blocked from messaging again on my phone and texting, and that happens all the time. I'm like, not today, Satan. So now I do everything through Instagram and Facebook. But anyways, I'm going to stop blabbing. I love y'all. I hope this helped y'all. I'm glad this is kind of a shorter Zoom. So if y'all want to take the last 30 minutes of this, of what we would have been on Zoom, and go work and do like a little half power hour. So I will see y'all on Tuesday with our Diamond Tribe Zoom on Courtney Bohr and Courtney Live. I don't know which one's running it next week. But yeah, I hope you'll have a good night. Thank you so much, Katie, for getting on and sharing that. And I hope that this helped y'all. Good night, y'all.